Yo, what's going on, boys? Collision here with another offensive Madden breakdown video for you all. Gentlemen, today we are going to be breaking down the Y trips offset found in the spread playbook. Now, this is just part one of this formation. Or rather, we are going to cover everything here in this video, but we're going to be breaking down the rest of this playbook going forward as well. Today, gentlemen, with the Y trips offset, honestly, I think I'm going to call this formation the U trips 2.0. I know some of the alignments are a little different. Obviously, we have the running back here on the opposite side of the field, but having four receivers on one side, we talked about it in the bunch strong video, that is going to turn off match coverage on defense. And I love the fact that we can control the defense just a bit while being on the offensive side of the ball. So what this means for us is we are simply going to be going up against pure man and zone concepts. We don't have to worry about anything, but basically we can just dumb out the defense and we can make them play our game. So we're going to be breaking down primarily the slant buck 2. Obviously, we have other plays in here that are great, like Y corner and 4 verticals, which is really, really nice, something the U trips doesn't have, and some other plays as well. This video might be a little longer, but stick with me. Some of the setups, like cover 3 and cover 4, some of them are going to be the same, so don't get overwhelmed. We're going to go through this, and we're going to show you guys how it's applied to every coverage. Now, for your quarterback, I know a lot of people are rocking set feed lead. Some people are still running hot route master. I personally like set feed lead, but for this guide, I have elected to use hot route master. Now I have Will Levis, so currently I'm using hot route master, gunslinger, gift wrapped, and roaming deadeye. Gentlemen, we're going to be throwing some bombs in this formation, and just in case we don't have time, having roaming deadeye is a complete game changer, especially when you're looking to attack the field deep against the defense. So without any further ado, gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin against cover 3. And one final note I want to make is during our live stream when we were working in this playbook, because the defense will not be running match, we elected to go ahead and set the zone drops to 30 and 5. We just thought this is what people are going to be doing. If you can't run match coverage on defense, you're typically probably just going to go ahead and operate with zone drops. So just as a notice going forward. Alrighty, boys, so let's go ahead and begin against cover 3. So for our first play, like I said earlier, we're going to go ahead and base this zone attack out of the slant 2 buck. Let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and run this at a dime. It's because a lot of people are running dime right now. And I'll do auto base align. So let's go do the cover 3 buzz press, slant buck 2. I'm using this currently. I've been labbing a lot on the short side of the field. A lot of these setups will work on the far side as well. But just keep in mind, currently, a lot of this stuff is on the short side, so let's go ahead and begin. So, gentlemen, for the first setup, just a pretty conservative play. What we're going to be doing here is out-routing the number 1 receiver on the short side, and then we're going to go ahead and put our tight end here on a drag, put our running back here on a wheel. Now, listen, if they are in zone drops, this slot corner, who's in the purple, will just run straight to the sideline. If he bumps your slot receiver, just know that means he's in a default zone. I'll show that to you now. And in that instance, you're going to want to hit your out route. So I'm going to go ahead and reset my play here on defense and let that curl flat play as a curl flat. And you guys will see here, he's going to chuck Tyreek Hill in the slot. Once you see that contact, just know you can go ahead and hit your out route. So it's basically just a little 1-2 there. And then obviously if he's going to the sideline, you go ahead and hit your wheel. Like so. Just like that. And then on the back end of the play on the far side of the field, you guys also have just some simple little dump offs depending on where the user's going. If he plays up top or plays the wheel, you can go ahead and dump it off to your tight end on the drag. If he decides to play super low with one of those hook curls, you guys can go ahead and hit your backside big here with your X receiver. So nice little conservative option against cover 3, something I kind of like to start with and see, where his defenders are going. Have a lot of safe dump off options on this play as well. So it's one of my little starter plays. Another option you guys can do as well in this play, if you are going up against somebody who doesn't have like deep zone KO or anything like that, let's say you guys are playing regs or franchise, what's really nice about this formation is we can motion our tight end off the line of scrimmage to the trip side, or we can motion him to the left and kind of put him in a fullback stance. What's nice about this, guys, is we can get any type of running back hot route from him in this position. So if we want a Texas or we want a wheel, we can grab this wheel, motion him back to the line of scrimmage, and he will keep that wheel and it will flip to the opposite side. So what's nice about this is basically we can go ahead and make a pull route. This isn't really something I have completely labbed up yet for a specific play, but I still wanted to include this against a cover 3 or cover 4. If you're going up against somebody who doesn't have deep zone KO, so as you guys see here, if we just wait for B to pull the DB upfield, given you're going up against somebody who doesn't have those type of, knockout abilities to get improved reactions, you guys can go ahead and sneak this in. I'll try and show it once, and then we'll go ahead and move on to our actual cover 3 beaters. Should I have even included this into the video? I don't know. I just wanted to show it because I thought it was, worth talking about so you guys know you have these hot routes. But something like this, obviously right there, we have the ability on defense. But if you guys are playing franchise or regs, or just somebody doesn't have it, just know you can use these wheels as a, a deep zone beater down the sideline. Really good for Mable as well. So for our next play out of, or next setup out of the Slant 2 Buc is going to be our cover 3 bomb. Now guys, for this setup, what you're going to do is put your lone side receiver here on a comeback. You're going to go ahead, block your running back, and streak your tight end. So this is what the play is going to look like here. Here is the defense. We're going to snap this ball here and look for RB here, Tyreek Hill, deep in the play. And go ahead and throw that over the top. Now, if you guys want, you can put your B receiver on the short side on a drag or an in route. Just know, we were talking about this during the live stream. If you do this, I've noticed sometimes it kind of shades the secondary more to the left because no one's running deep down that right sideline. So just know if you wanted to have a little dump off option or maybe something to keep the user underneath, you can apply this. I'm going to go ahead and spy my defense just so you guys can see how the secondary plays, so I can kind of let this play, kind of run further, but we'll probably still get it off. Yeah, like right there, it's like nothing changed. I just want to let you guys know some fine print stuff. I have noticed when you do an in route or a drag, there is potential where that safety will kind of float off more towards that open side of the field. So, right there, we just proved nothing happened, nothing changed, but I have noticed sometimes it does. So just be mindful. But this is a really great setup. And one thing I want to show you guys as well before we move on from this bomb is that if you are under pressure, this is where I love roaming Deadeye here. Okay, so if I am under pressure and I need to roll out, all I need to do at this point, Gilbert Brown just absolutely shedded my soul. So I'm going to throw this away. I'm going to go ahead and pinch and then crash down. That way you guys can just see how we can throw on the run. Obviously, this would be better if I was on the other side of the field doing it. I'll go ahead and just spy as well. That way I don't waste anybody's time. But what's really nice about roaming Deadeye is once I start scrambling with right trigger, if I release right trigger, I'm still on the run and I can throw a bullet and have perfect accuracy. It's really important to know that. I think Mutt GG, maybe some other ability websites that let you see the description say you need to be in the pocket for roaming Deadeye. You do not, or I'm sorry, for long range Deadeye. Completely just block out what I just said. If you have roaming Deadeye, you will have perfect pass accuracy, even if you are throwing on the run. You just need to make sure that you release right trigger and you won't have any problem at all. So, gentlemen, just keep that in mind. We're going to be talking about this more further in the video. But continuing on with our cover 3 beaters, we're going to go ahead and select Y corner as our next play. And then I'm going to show you guys verticals. What's nice about Y corner is we have this corner out on the tight end, and that can be absolutely gorgeous. For this setup, guys, we're going to be motioning in our lone side receiver, and we're going to put him on a post route. Now, this is where Hot Route Master is going to come in handy, okay? For your next adjustment, you're going to go ahead and put your slot RB here on a drag, and then you are going to put B here on a streak. So this is going to be your play art here. Basically, what we're looking for is how is the user playing on defense, okay? Right there, we got bumped like crazy by the defensive end, so I'm going to go ahead and pinch my line so that doesn't happen again. But basically, we have a nice high-low here down the middle with the post and the drag. And then if the user wants to stay in the middle of the field, we can take advantage of the sideline, given they're using zone drops with our tight end. So right here, if they're playing over the top with that post, we can go ahead and dump it off to the drag, and vice versa. If they want to play underneath on the drag, we can go ahead and hit the post over the top. So I'll go ahead and show the post real quick before we move on. The B is just simply to pull the deep zones away from the tight end. I'm going to go ahead and man up this linebacker here to the drag, assuming the user's playing it, just so you guys can get a sense of what it's going to look like. Something like this. You guys can go ahead and hit him. Hell of a play by Sean Taylor to break it up. But you guys know with that inside positioning, we're going to have a lot of success catching those passes in traffic. So just keep this in mind. This is really good against cover 3 as well. Now, finally, we're going to have 4 verticals. Now, for this adjustment, guys, you are going to want to use based on what the defensive zone is doing. If he's using zone drops, you guys can go ahead and put your running back here in a wheel. if he's doing any type of zone drop to cover this wheel, you guys can go ahead and put him on an in or an out. This is just basically going to be determined based on who you're playing and what he's running. But for the sake of this cover 3, we're going to go with the wheel route on our running back. Now, obviously here, we're going to have our running back as well. I like the running back on the wheel. I know I've said running back 5 times, but what's nice about the wheel is that's actually going to get underneath the zone drop ability by the defensive DBs. So if we just throw this just right, he's going to get pulled upfield, but he's also not going to be in a position where he can break up this pass just because, you know, it's not getting to the depth where the ability is going to take effect for us. And obviously, you know, just like any 4 verticals, you guys can obviously use these crossers to your advantage as well. Something like this, having set feed lead is going to be better, but that's why we're going to have, you know, more setups to show, you know, that you might not have to attack the seams every single time against a cover 3, you know. So just keep this in mind, boys. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on. I showed the worst example of how 4 verticals can be played, but you guys know 4 verticals, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Guys, honestly, one more setup out of the slant 2 buck versus cover 3 is going to be putting your B receiver on an out route. I know this is going to look a little weird here, but if we go back to the tight end wheel like we mentioned earlier in the video, if they do not have a quarter flat playing the sideline, this combination will glitch out the purple and he will follow the wheel over the top. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and snap this. You can watch the M marked DB here who's in his curl flat. Watch how once we snap it, later in the play, he will follow Shannon Sharp upfield, and that will lead us, you know, a little wide open dump off pass. A lot of people like to run this combination out of bunch sets, but just know you also have that wheel and out route combination here. This will get guarded by a quarter flat, so please keep that in mind. But if they are in a curl flat or a seam flat, we can go ahead and put that tight end on the wheel, get him upfield, and have an easy dump off underneath. Now let's go ahead and break down cover 4. Alrighty guys, now going up against cover 4, honestly, a lot of these setups are going to be the same. So we're going to go ahead and knock these out a little quicker, but still, we're still going to be talking about it. We're going to go ahead and go up against cover 4 bombs here. Obviously, because we're in the trips offset, this will basically play like a cover 4 drop. But I want to show you guys our cover 3 bomb that still works for cover 4 as well. So we're going to go ahead and streak our tight end yet again, put X on a comeback, block our running back. Go ahead, snap this, and I'll show you guys what this throw is supposed to look like against a cover 4. As you guys see, against a cover 4, you're going to want to wait a little longer, and then you're going to want to cut off the throw horizontally. So please bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and spy the rush here just so you guys can see how you're supposed to throw this pass and how the route is going to develop over time. So how you're going to want to throw this is freeform all the way to the left, just like this. And as you guys see, you're not going to need a set feed lead for this type of throw. We've tested it with and without. Obviously, right there, I had a pretty garbage time freeform there. But you guys will see with testing of your own that even if we press or back off, you're not going to have any problem getting over the top. And speed doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this as well up next with what's his name? DK Metcalf, the Unstoppable card, who's fairly out of date now, but I want to show you guys just how open this play can get against those zone coverages, just so you guys can see what we're working with here. So here's DK with the same defensive set here. We're going to go ahead and go cover 4 palms, streak that tight end, put our lone side receiver on a comeback, and go ahead and turn off the pressure for this play. Go ahead and watch how DK develops. This play really just comes down to knowing how to freeform it. As you guys see right there. And these really even aren't the best examples of how, you know, easy we could freeform it or how we should. I'm going to go ahead and run this one more time. I'm going to go ahead and cut just so you guys can see the prime example of how you should be landing this throw. Just like that. See, once we freeform it late, that safety's back just turns and he's nowhere near the play. And during the live stream, we also tested this with a deep out KO at that free safety spot. So it's just something you guys aren't going to have to worry about. This is a cover 4 beater. And then guys, just like we were mentioning earlier, with these plays being very similar to the cover 3, we can use the same exact setup as we did in the Y corner. So I'll go ahead and show you guys this. Again, we're going to be motioning in this receiver, putting him on a post, dragging RB, and then putting our B receiver on a streak. Go ahead and snap this. And as you guys see, if they are not going to user that middle linebacker, that 3-rec hook will follow the tight end. He will follow and basically play man with the number 3 receiver. If that's the case, obviously, like we just did, you can hit the middle. Typically, though, that's going to be the user. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in a middle zone just so you guys can kind of get a sense of what it's going to look like in game. Right here, go ahead and snap this again. RB's open early in the play. Our corner route is wide open. I do recommend trying to cut this free form right to the sideline. Avoid pass leading upfield, just because you want to avoid the knockouts at all costs. I'll show you this against a press look, as I failed to mention that. You're still going to be able to get underneath it, even if the defense is pressed, which is what a lot of people run with this deep out zone meta. You guys see right there, that was with the 3 hook following him. It's just a really good play. Oh, we were out of bounds there. Damn, that's tough, right? Let's see you guys one more time, then we'll go ahead and move on. Obviously, you guys see we can throw the drag early in the play. We're just not going to. Right there. Hey, listen, I guess we just can't get our feet in bounds. But you guys see the dots, man. Listen, you're not going to have this problem, all right? So we'll go ahead and move on. Cover 4 verticals as well. It's going to do a great job, just so you guys know. Go ahead and hit your running back here. And then, just do your cover 4 stuff. You can hit your crosser late in the play if you have time. Something like this. If that user is, playing the running back, the tight end got absolutely bagged by the 3-rec. But if that user is playing the slot or the running back, you guys will have your tight end open later in the play. You guys know verticals. I'm not going to cover that anymore. It's just pretty self-explanatory. And guys, yet again, like we were saying with our cover 3 setup, you guys can still take advantage of, the running back in the backfield using the out route. Go show you guys this here. There is our wheel by the running back. And if they are playing a, stock cover 4 with no zone drops enabled, you're going to get a chuck here in the slot. Actually, he doesn't. Oh, right, because he's a quarter flat. Never mind. Quarter flats will go to the sideline. So never mind. Forget I said that. But just know you guys have that option as well. I'll say against a cover 4, it is a little better, especially you just throw opposite of wherever the user's going. You're going to be in good shape. It's just that left side in the middle of the field has so much stress on it. And if that user tries to play the wheel, A is going to be open at the start. And then you're just going to have your backside dig open as well. So this play is absolutely just going to conquer cover 4. And boys, one final cover 3 and cover 4 beater. Shout out to my guy Musty over in the Discord. Also helped me out during the live stream. All we're going to be doing for this, guys, this is to basically avoid the deep out knockout. So we are in a cover 4 quarters here. We're going to go ahead and press. Your setup here is going to be to streak your slot receiver RB. And then you're going to go ahead and put your number 1 receiver to the short side in a corner route. Basically what this does is that streak is going to go ahead and pull your deep zones, and you guys will have this C route underneath. That was against a cover 4. I'll go ahead and show you guys what this looks like against a cover 3. Right here, I'll go ahead and press, because that's what guys like to do. And you guys can go ahead and see how this operates as well against a cover 3. Just want to make sure you guys are getting your free form down and knowing how to throw as far away as possible while still getting some good depth downfield to avoid those knockouts. So guys, these really are all you need to know against cover 3 and cover 4. If we do find anything else while we are playing in game, I will add them to the Discord. So guys, feel free to join if you guys would like to. If there's anything that we find after we posted the guide a few days later or whatever, we always add it immediately. So stay tuned there as well. So let's go ahead and break down cover 2, but we're going to break down first Mable and then stock cover 2. So again, here are the coaching adjustments 30 and 5. And like we said, we're going to go ahead and break down Mable first. So as always, slant to Buc is going to be the base play call. We're going to go ahead and back off these DBs manually. Go ahead and have a little defense like this, a little double Mable action. Boys, against a Mable, easily, I would just say quickly, 4 verticals is going to decimate it. It's too much stress in the seams here. So if we go ahead snap throw this to our slot, we're going to have no problem. If they want to go and try and user that, your A is going to be wide open. Just know, this is by far the easiest way to combat Mable. If we want to get a little more in depth, we can do another wheel by our tight end, something like this. Go ahead and motion him back over, block our running back. You can go drag RB. Maybe you could do something like this where you have a deep post on B. This is kind of a little lab right here. But you guys want to do something like this, I probably would recommend set feed lead. It's not entirely required, but this is going to be probably a little tighter of a window that we would need to make there. Not really. He got good separation. But as you guys see our wheel over the top, I'll show this one more time. I'll go ahead and make a cut, and I'm going to go ahead and spy my D-line. You guys see that post is going to help get that safety more towards the middle. And then as it develops, we can go ahead and freeform this. That was a terrible freeform. Try and hit my A here. Try and step up and make a throw. Something like this. There you go. Yeah, I would just... I'd recommend set feed lead if you guys are going with something like that. Obviously, we're able to come down with it. But, you know. And then I'll go ahead and just show you guys the post as well. And what that would look like. Let's just assume... A here's on a wheel, and then go and show you guys. We're going to be focusing on the deep post here. So as you guys see how that safety kind of sits in the middle between the two, you can go and take advantage, throw this deep down the middle, and just have a little cover 2 beater. So just don't forget, don't overthink Mable. Attack the seams and attack deep down the middle. If it's a cover 2 Mable, you guys are going to be in great shape. One final thing, and I promise this is going to be the final thing against cover 3 and cover 4 because I failed to mention it. If they are not playing match, obviously, they probably won't be if you guys are coming out in a set like this. It can be really nice to add combinations with your tight end here, where if I put him on a corner route here, and then I motion him into the backfield, he'll now play a corner route to the left side of the field. So if I do something like this, where I put him on a post route, and then motion him back down, he'll now still play that post route to the right side of the field. So if you guys want a combination where you guys can try and, you know, use your tight end in the backfield and then get underneath those deep zones, again, that's for cover 3 and cover 4. Don't sleep on this. You know, guys, your tight end, he's not going to get pressed on the line, obviously, but you can motion him over here. You can block him. You can do whatever you want with him. If you guys, we'll talk about it soon with man coverage, but if you guys want, you can put him on a Texas and then motion him back against man, because these Texas routes are going to run so much better than a trail route. You guys see that little dip there in the tight end trail route? You don't want that dip if you can avoid it. So make sure you guys are applying this with man coverage and other, you know, defenses, whatever, you know, it calls for. So now finally, before we get into man coverage, we're going to be breaking down just a normal cover 2. So I'm going to go ahead and select Y corner here. Now guys, really as simple as this is, we're going to go ahead and let me see. I'm going to go ahead and reset my defense here just so we can have a pure cover 2. Now, guys, against a stock cover 2, Y corner is going to be the play. We're going to be motioning in our lone side receiver, putting him on a post, dragging the slot. We're going to be streaking wide receiver number 1 on the short side, and then we're going to put our running back on an out route. Basically, what this is a high-low on the right and a high-low down the middle. If they are playing hard flats, we can hit A. If they're playing over the top and they're sitting back, we can dump it off to our running back and get easy yards. Depending where the user is going, we'll have our drag over the middle. We'll have our post over the middle, okay? Go ahead, snap this here. They're playing over the top. Go ahead, dump it off to the running back, get the easy yards. Okay, we're absolutely going to just swallow up cover 2 here with this look. Show this to y'all again. Now with a hard flat. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust this one more time. Go ahead and reset play. And then I'm going to play underneath. So now the defense is in a cover 2 hard flat. We go ahead, snap this. We can go ahead and hit our corner route over the top. And then obviously, boys, if they are going to be sending their user to the right side of the field, we're going to have no problem attacking the middle and taking advantage of the lackluster user. Let's say they want to play the tight end here, right? For some odd reason, that's what they decide to do. We can go ahead, snap this here, got RB open, and then deep down the field, we're going to have our post open as well. So, gentlemen, that is going to be it for cover 2. Don't sleep on 4 verticals. I'm not going to cover that just because we've talked about it so much, but 4 verticals is going to be great as well. So now finally, let's go ahead and break down man coverage. All right, boys, so starting off with curls. Let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to go ahead and put Overstorm Brave in my audibles. We're going to come out here in the cover 1 Robert press. Now, with curls, this is going to be somewhat similar to the U-Trips variant. Definitely not as good, but still worth noting. What we're going to be doing for this setup, guys, is putting RB here on a smart route. And I want to break that down first. As you guys see, this deep post on the back end of the play, if we go ahead and get our freeform, he is going to get great separation against his man coverage player. Even if they do play him tightly, later in the play, you guys will see, as long as we get a solid freeform, we can throw this away from any type of man defender. Obviously, there's a zone up top that's helping him there, but just keep this in mind. This post can really do a phenomenal job at getting separation against the man player. Like we were mentioning earlier, curls do a great job as well. So I'm going to go ahead and snap this ball here and go ahead and hit B. You just want to make sure you are kind of passing that away from the DB and practice how to get it away, from the defender. And you guys will see that curls do a really good job against man. Right there. I wouldn't do it to the far side. Definitely stick to the short side in a combination like that. And as we were saying, because I think teaching how to beat man is more of a philosophy, I want to talk about man beating routes. Man beating routes, guys, are always going to be kind of your motion snap slants or any type of quick breaking route. Zigs do a phenomenal job. What's nice and unique about this offense is if we need help, we can always go ahead and bring our tight end over, put him on a Texas route. If we want to bring him back, we can. If we wanted to do a combination like this, we absolutely could. We'll have great success here. If we were going up against, let's say, a zero blitz, right? We'll go ahead and, let's see. We want to keep our running back here on his check and release. What's nice about check and releases is that they will not interfere with the defensive assignment of the player who is manned up to the running back. If I block my running back here, the safety, Sean Taylor, will now convert to a middle third, okay? We don't want that because we have a lot of deep threats against the zero blitz that can expose the cover zero. So what we're going to do is leave our running back on the check and release, and we're going to go ahead and work around him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my offensive line to the right, and then I'm going to go ahead and ID this left side linebacker. Now, typically what you would see here is one of these defenders will have an icon that he will be the check and release player. As you guys see here, it's the right side linebacker. So I'm going to go ahead and snap this ball. And as you guys see with the check and release, we're not going to have any problem with the blitz coming through or the defensive player abandoning the man coverage and playing over the top. So let's go ahead and show this. And as you guys see, we're able to pick this up, still get hollered at. Unfortunately, they sent the dogs. But if we just had, an ounce more time, you guys will see, this Texas route absolutely fries his man coverage. This deep post over the top fries his man coverage. Okay, so just keep this in mind. It's actually interesting. He did kind of sit back. Yeah. So this is more. I know it looks like he's sitting back in a zone, but what Sean Taylor's actually doing here is waiting for the running back. He's actually playing man coverage to him. It's just he's playing so far off. So if that is the case, you may want to do a check and release to the right, something like this. That way the safety kind of goes more away from the play. But just keep in mind, boys, if there's something, if you want to block your running back, you can put your tight end here on a wheel and do a setup like this where we can, block our running back. We don't have to worry about attacking the middle of the field. We can do a setup like this and maybe do a motion snap here with the zig. So I'll go ahead, slide my O-line to the right, ID opposite of it. Go ahead and motion this player, snap it. And you guys see over the top, we get a little swerve going in there. We're going to have no problem beating the man coverage. That was a cover one. But like I said, boys, it really just comes down to understanding what routes beat man coverage. And I say this because every single man coverage call has different shading, has different types of principles to it. And when a user is also adding different shades to each individual player, I don't think anyone should really be breaking down like a specific play for beating man because the defense can always adjust and counter it. So just keep this in mind, boys. Before we wrap this up, I do want to tell you guys about the running plays in this set. The two that have shined out to me early, obviously the speed option. This is an incredibly annoying play to stop. I do want to break this down so you guys actually know how to do the hurdle pitch because it has been altered in a recent patch. So just keep that in mind. And then finally, we are going to be breaking down the RPO Bubble Y Pop. This play, I use it primarily as a run, not really an RPO. It does great against dollar. It does great against dime normal, especially if they're in a man aligned set. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys with a base align 3-2 what this bubble is going to look like here. Like I said, we're not even going to be throwing it. We're just simply using this as a run play. And as you guys see, if you get good speed at guard, you'll have a lot of free range here, especially if they're in a 3-down lineman set. Something like this where there's just not enough people in the box. Even if there is, I mean, you're just going to have really good blocks here to help you get downfield. And then having athletic linemen will help you even more. Now, finally, to wrap this up, the speed option. Guys, if you want to get the hurdle pitch to work, as you guys see, if we try and snap throw this, okay, well, that was a perfect example. If you are having problems with getting the hurdle pitch to work, what you need to do, this is very important. Once you snap the ball, you need to hold right trigger. So A, hold right trigger, release right trigger, hurdle, lateral. Put the defense here on conservative. That way we can get this even better, really, to go to the running back. But we're going to snap, hold, release, hurdle, throw. And you guys will see after, trying that a few snaps, that is the most consistent way to get the hurdle animation. Sometimes if you don't do that combination, the quarterback is going to auto run. That's not what you want for the brand. Gentlemen, that is going to be it for this guide. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them here in the YouTube comment section. Or if you guys need more help, come join the Discord. We can party up. If you guys have any questions or just need help, let me know. And I'd love to help you guys out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, boys. Peace.